Hey guys! In today's video, we're going to be covering top 15 things that I think you should know before going to Japan as a first timer. We are going to be discussing trains, money, shopping, nightlife, food, shoes, Google Maps, theme parks,
lamb, rams,
language, jet lag, luggage, hygiene, Wi-Fi, bidets, and tips.
you name it!
So stay tuned. Okay, so my first one on the list is transit. That's right. There's lots and lots of trains. So as you know, Japan is very big on trains. They use trains to go literally anywhere. A lot of videos that I was watching about Japan said that the train system was very easy to catch on to. Well, it's not, or at least it wasn't for us. The first thing I wanted to talk about is lines. Me and my husband and brother went, and we did not know people lined up until day 5. We actually found out people were lining up, and we, not knowing that people were lining up, were just getting on. We were cutting people in line. That's what we were doing. Yeah, another thing about trains is that if you don't get in on time, they're gonna close the door on you. My husband was trying to be polite and letting people go by before him. Me and my brother just already went on. My husband waited for people to get on, and then a la mera hora, at the last minute, he tries to step inside, and then the doors close in front of him. Guys, you should have seen it. It was like a slow motion movie. His face of terror, being all alone in a foreign country without us. You could just see him like a little lost puppy watching the train go by. I mean, it wasn't that bad because he just took the next train that came like 2 minutes later, and then he caught up to us eventually, but it's scary. And if you don't want to get separated from your party, I suggest get on the bus as soon as possible. Another thing I wanted to talk about the train stations is if you go during the cold times, the train stations are hot. If you're dressing up for the winter and you have your big puffer and you have your sweatshirt and you have double layer, triple layer, quadruple layer, quintuplet layer.
Layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers.
Then you're gonna be hot when you get in the train station. Bring something that you can take off easily so that you don't have to suffer like my husband. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about is that the trains were hard to find. So Google Maps told us which trains to take, which I really liked, but there's so many trains and there's so many platforms. On those different platforms, there's different trains. So just make sure that you give yourself enough allotted time to find which train is yours. Another thing about train systems is don't talk loud. People don't even talk like for real, but if they do talk, they keep it very, very quietly. Also, it's a little rude to eat on the train station as well. I forgot why, but don't do it. I kind of had to do it. Well, I was very hungry and we were like rushing to the next place. So I brought like this little chicken thing and I was just kind of eating it like this, but I don't recommend it because I just feel like everybody is looking at you if you're eating because it's rude. So eating on the train, very rude, don't do it.
Yeah, also they might stuff you like a sardine inside of the train and it's totally normal. Nobody will steal from you or pickpocket you, but yeah.
Okay, another thing is about paying for the trains is actually much easier than we thought. We used what's called the Suica card, which I'll talk about this later on too when I talk about money, but the Suica card, you literally can just have it on your phone if you have an Apple device like Apple Pay, or I think you can also have it on Samsung too, but you basically just swipe it. You don't even have to do the double click thing. You don't have to do it. As long as you have it on your Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, whatever wallet you have, electronic wallet. And also, if you enter the wrong station but you don't board the train and you scan your Suica card, they're gonna return your money. They're gonna return your money because that's just how nice they are. Okay, now let's talk about money. Money is actually easier than we thought too. I was very confused when I first went there because I was worried that we weren't gonna have enough cash, that foreign transaction fees, whatever. But the Suica card is the first thing that I want to touch on. So the Suica card, they don't give physical cards anymore. I'm gonna show you how to add it to your Apple Wallet. and then you add funds. I just added it from our Apple Wallet or Apple Card that we have, and it's so easy there. We didn't get charged any foreign transaction fees, and it converts your USD to yen. Just make sure that your card that you're loading your Suica card with doesn't have foreign transaction fees. So then the Suica is actually accepted in many places like Family Mart, 7-Eleven, convenience stores basically, and train stations. Also just know that whatever you have on Suica, if you don't use it, it's just gonna stay there. And who knows when the next time you're gonna be back in Japan is. So I suggest only loading your card with what you're going to use. Another thing is you can use your regular American credit card over there. Just make sure that your credit card does not have foreign transaction fees. However, some places don't accept Suica, they don't accept credit cards, so what do they accept? You can use cash. So whatever you're left with at the end of your trip in yen is just gonna stay there until your next trip to Japan. I think we got 10,000 total yen at the ATM and 7-Eleven. If you are going to go to an ATM, we suggest using a 7-Eleven ATM. I think the fee to withdraw money is cheaper. I'll try to insert a picture here and then also a video that I really found helpful where this guy explains all of it with the ATM. Now we're gonna move on to shopping. Just know that Japan is like a shopping paradise for petite women because like you find so much clothes, but given that, you're gonna have a little hard time finding larger sizes, so just keep that in mind. So a lot of stores don't have larger sizes. However, keep looking because we found like a gem of a store. They would have like a section that says big shoes. And that was where my brother and my husband were able to find shoes, and they are such good shoes. But let me tell you something about those shoes. Be careful, because yes, they have the real deals. They have Nikes, they have Adidas, they have New Balance, they have all those things, but check the tag underneath the shoe, you know, the little flap on the little tongue thing, because yes, some are real, but some say made to the exact specifications of this brand. So they're fake. My brother and my husband got the same style of shoes, different colors. My husband's was real, it was a real Nike shoe, but my brother's shoe came in a Nike's box, but in the flap inside that we did not check, it said made to the exact specifications, so it was fake. Another thing shopping related is tax exemption. Make sure to bring your passport with you wherever you go whenever you're going shopping, because that is what you're gonna use to get tax exemption on a lot of items. The thing is, like, especially in Don Quixote, if you get the tax exempt thing, they're going to lock it in a bag and they're gonna tell you that you can't open it until you reach the United States. Fine, technically that's what you're supposed to do, but honestly, no one checked. We found out that they only check those things, like to see if it's closed, is if you spend more than $10,000, I think. Okay, let's talk about the nightlife. Okay, so the nightlife in Japan was honestly really, really cool. I really enjoyed it, especially the first night in Japan, and you're just like, ooh, ah, because it's just so cool just to look at and just be there surrounded by all these locals and just the bright lights. It's so beautiful in the city. And yes, in Japan there are a lot of massage areas or massage businesses, and if you're out, I think after it was like 12 a.m. or 10 a.m., they're gonna follow you. My husband and my brother, they were out pretty late, and when they were walking, they would constantly get harassed by ladies trying to get them to get a massage. And to the point where they were following them, okay? And not only were they following them, this lady actually was tugging on my husband's shirt after following him and telling him to come get a massage, and they kept saying no. Japan is relatively safe at night, but it is creepy to get followed around by ladies asking you if you want to get a massage. Okay, let's talk about food. Everyone's talking about it. 7-Eleven food, Family Mart food, Boston Mart food. They are so good. Don't skip out on the convenience store food because it is awesome. Okay, let's talk about walking there or shoes. What are the best shoes to have when you're in Japan? Well, let me tell you, I think they are these. The first day there, my husband had on these fuzzy boots because it was cold, and then my brother had these shoes that I don't even know what they were, but they were not walking shoes, and their feet were hurting like day one. Meanwhile, I was just strolling along. I could keep walking for miles and I was fine. So make sure that you have the appropriate footwear because you are gonna be walking a lot. Okay, let's talk about navigation, going places. Where am I gonna go? How do I get there? We were lost so many times. A lot of times we're using Google Maps and it would tell us that the place is right there and we're like, it's not right here. And then we would go through like a whole bunch of alleys. What we learned is that you need to go down under some stairways, and then usually whenever we would go down the stairways, you would usually find the place. Whenever it says you're there, make sure to look up, look down, because it might even be the second floor, 2, or basement area. Also, when you're navigating and you're planning out your day, make sure that you check where the restrooms are, because restrooms are not easily as accessible as they are in the United States. We will say there are a lot of restrooms in the train station, so you can go there. Another thing I want to talk about is theme parks. Some things that you should know is Disney and Universal are not as good as I was hyped up to believe. And I'll make a video about this later on, but my recommendation is you should probably skip these, especially if you're a thrill seeker and if you don't like waiting in lines and if you don't like buying the fast pass. But if you're a foodie and all you want to do over there is eat, then yeah, I guess go ahead, go for it. They have good snacks. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is the language. So in a lot of videos that I was watching before going to Tokyo, I saw that a lot of people were like, you have no problem communicating with people because a lot of the people there know English already. And yes, that's true, but to an extent. We still had to use our Papago translation app. Make sure that you know specific phrases like please, thank you is arigatou gozaimasu, excuse me, sumimasen, and then sorry. Sorry, I think, is gomenasai. So learn sorry because you are gonna bump into people and you are gonna do stuff that you don't mean to do. And it's important for them to know that that was not your intention. So let's talk about jet lag. To be honest, all I can give you is what worked for us and what did not work for us. It was really hard to sleep on the plane. First of all, you're excited. They have movies in front of you. And then also they're gonna be feeding you. You don't wanna miss out when they call beef or chicken. One thing I recommend, sleep before you get on the plane. Take a sleeping aid on the plane if you think you can be comfortable there. Give yourself time to take naps. And then also don't check the time, what time it is where you, in your time zone. It's all a mind thing. Okay, another thing that I recommend that you need to think about is luggage. So a lot of videos that we were watching were saying just to take a backpack, don't take luggage because Japan isn't really luggage friendly, which I will say it's not too luggage friendly. Everywhere you go, there's stairs, but you can literally like roll it around. So what I recommend is getting something that you can put on your back when you don't want to carry it, and something that you can roll at the same time. Also, carrying it up the stairs is not so much of a problem if you don't pack a lot. Let's talk about hygiene, specifically laundry. A lot of hotels do have a laundry machine. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend the laundry system in the hotels, period. First of all, if you use one of their laundry machines that have the washer and the dryer together, like in one, like you don't take it out, it's gonna take you a long time, and then when the clothes comes out, they're gonna be wet still. And then you're gonna have to go over there again, you're gonna have to pay again, and it's still gonna be wet. If they are separated, it's better, but they're still not gonna do a good job of it. I don't know why, they just don't do a good job of it if they're at the hotel. And also, you're gonna have a line of people after you. So I would suggest going to your local laundromat. Just make sure, even if you're in the laundromat, don't choose the ones that say washer, dryer together. They still don't work. Choose the ones that are separate, washer and dryer separately. A lot of them already include their own detergent in there too. Another thing, hygiene-wise, is for some reason, there's not soap in the public restroom. So I would suggest bringing your own disinfecting wipes. And while we're talking about toilets, let's talk about bidets. I will warn you, always check the seat aim pressure. If the pressure is too high, it's gonna shoot up your back. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is Wi-Fi. You can use your regular plan, and they usually only charge, I think, $10-15 per day to keep using your cell phone in like a foreign country, but that's still kind of expensive compared to what we did. Is we got an electronic SIM card. You can use an electronic SIM card in any device as long as that device is unlocked. And it actually gave pretty good signal. The 15th thing is don't tip. When you're going to restaurants, don't tip at restaurants because they will find it rude. Okay, me and Cookie want to say thank you for watching. We hope that you found this helpful. Please write down in the comments if you have any more questions and I would be happy to help. God bless. Bye guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Bye.